What's up guys, Jason Z here, and I finally got around to doing the Fire Expedition Dagger Sicar quests. So when I beat Dark Expedition, I made a video for it, so I figured I'd do it again. But before we get into this totally innovative and never before seen strat, make sure to subscribe. I do all kinds of Epic 7 related videos such as lore summaries, unit showcases, Dagger Sicar quests, and hunt one-shots. Now, let's get into this. So first things first, since this is a Dagger Sicar, we're going to be manualing this team. If you want an auto team, skip to the time listed on the screen and I'll show you my auto team, which scores normally between 700k and 1 million. Alrighty, so first things first, use Kitty Clarissa's S3. You ideally want this to always be on cooldown. From here, S1, you will only ever use Kitty's S1 unless her S3 is down, in which case you gotta S3 and then S1. This is because S3 gives Kitty a unique buff that when active makes her S1 always trigger a dual attack with the highest attack enemy. Terranor Guard passive is that whenever he does a dual attack, he pushes the team CR by 25%, so they synergize well together. Next up, Aras. Save his S2 until you can soul burn. Similarly to Kitty, he can force a dual attack with the highest attack ally, and if you soul burn it, you can use the skill infinitely. My team is really squishy, so I had to get the timing for the S3 perfect, and I basically only used it whenever the boss was about to take a turn. With Terranor Guard, you only ever want to use his S1 and pray few defense breaks, and then finally Tamarin. Heal when the team is low, always use idle form when available, always S2 with her to get more turn cycling, and then S1 when S2 isn't available. And that's basically the team. You're just going to be forcing dual attacks with Terranor Guard until the boss is dead. The stats on my team is kind of scuffed, so it took me a couple tries to figure out the timing of the team so Kitty Clarissa didn't die, but as you can see it works, so if you want to see the run continue watching, and if you want to see the stats, skip to this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't close your eyes. Hello? It's on this way. Take this! Attention! Will you please me out? I have a meeting. It's ready. This will be easy. It's doing nothing. It's doing nothing. Forward march. I'm scared. Okay. Let's do anything. Alright, let's do this. I'm ready. Will you please me out? This is my stage. Attention! I'll protect you. Take this!
Alrighty, first up, Aras. You want to have some decent HP and defense on him with about 200 speed or higher. In addition to that, try to get some effectiveness on him so he can land defense breaks. I have him on Sword of Ezra, so he's way harder to kill. You don't need a Mola or 6-star him, as you can see, but you do need to have his skill tree completed. Then we've got Tamarin. I have mine moderately bulky with good speed. The ER for this expedition is unnecessary, however, I have to use her for Dark Expedition, which is why she has such high ER. If you want to mimic my team, just try to shoot for high HP, defense, and speed. The higher you can get, the better. Next up, Kitty Clarissa. She's I'm pretty sure on the same build as my PvP kitty, with the exception being I switched her artifact to Proof of Valor so she would survive. If you have free unequipped, focus on speed, like the same speed as mine or higher with high HP and defense. If you can get her to high HP and defense, she won't need Proof of Valor, and you can give her Durandal instead. Finally, we've got Terranar Guard. He has self-imprint crit chance, which is super helpful. Try to get as much attack and crit damage as possible. He only needs 85% crit to crit this boss. As you can see, his DPS stats don't need to be that high because mine worked perfectly fine. Like with Aras, try to get his effectiveness up so he can also land defense breaks if needed. And finally, I got him on Victorious Flag, but honestly, any damage increasing artifact would probably work here. Now already, I promised I'd show my auto fire team, so here it is. First up, we got Blue Rose with who is a level 50 and has no Mola. Basically, just built her the same as Aras. I ran out of Sword of Ezra, so I have her on a +0 Noble Oath, but I swear it works. I have her on the exclusive equipment that gives her defense buff whenever she uses S1, which also helps to keep her alive. Luna, I just built her as a straight DPS with 200 speed and as much DPS stats as I could get. I have her on Merciless Glutton to increase her damage and the EE that pushes her CR when she uses her S1, so that way she'll turn cycle faster. Then we've got Tamarin. I already explained the logic behind her gear. And finally, Flurry. She's tanky enough to survive and is the main defense breaker of the team. At 268 speed, she'll be taking a lot of turns, and thanks to her own CR push, she can break the other phase of the boss. Anyways, that's all I want to talk about for this boss. I'll play a clip of my auto team doing its work, but that's all for me. If this was helpful, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Jason Z out.
Over here.